A very good evening and welcome to the national broadcast. I'm Malsha Dharmavardhana.
A very good evening to you. I'm Dishan Virakon and let's take a look at the headlines for tonight.
The President orders relevant sections to speed up investigations on the bond issue. 3 panels of judges to examine the Ratupaswala Eknaligoda disappearance and the avant-garde incidents. Stringent measures are to be imposed against school cafeterias that do not conform to standards. A severe political crisis in Britain. A request has been made to suspend Parliament.
Now moving on to more stories in detail. President Maithripala Sirisena has instructed the relevant sections to speed up investigations relating to the bond issue. He has pointed out that the delays in investigations rather is a strong impediment for justice. The President has given orders when he met officials of the Commission investigating charges on the bond fraud at the Presidential Secretariat this morning. It was disclosed on this occasion that so far 4 interim reports have been received in this regard and all reports are expected to be received by the end of next December. The officials have also pointed out that they have requested documents pertaining to the money laundering from the relevant banks for a period of 5 years, but they have not yet received such reports. They added that this has caused difficulties in carrying forward investigations. The Attorney General's Department has informed the President that the suspects were guilty of criminal offence under the Penal Code. They have also pledged to present all evidence before December through affidavits. The President has promised the officials that all assistance from his party will be extended to speed up investigations. Group of government officials, including Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, Dr. R.H.S. Samaratunga, was also present on the occasion. President Maithripala Sirisena has also instructed relevant sources to release all lands in the north which could be released without causing a threat to national security. The President was addressing participants of a discussion held at the President's office today to discuss on the progress of the program to release the lands in the north. The Defence Forces said on this occasion that 80% of the land owned by the government in the north and 90% of the private lands acquired by the security forces during the war period have already been released. The President said that they are talking about problems after the releasing of lands. The problems have been identified through the assistance of the armed forces. He added that they have looked into the extent of land to be released. The President added that they all accept the fact that army camps are necessary for national security. This is a fact that nobody could reject. The President also said that there are army camps even in places like Colombo, Mathura, Polonnaruwa, Galle and Hambantota. The President further said that the people in Jaffna were told of transferring of forces to the south after the April 21st Easter attack. This was in anticipation of any emergency situation that could have arisen, and this shows the importance of national security. He also said that some more land owned by the people in the north should have been released. He also said that however permanent army camps are necessary near locations of airports and other important places, we have to say firmly that the withdrawal of forces from such places is not possible. He added that if it is necessary to acquire private lands for an army camp, owners of such lands should be given compensation as decided upon.
එතකොට මේ ගනුදෙනුව ඉවරයක් වෙනවා. ජෙල්ලිකායට අයිති ඉඩම් සමහරවිට හමුදා කඳුරුවලට අවශ්‍ය නම් අපි කලිනුත් තීන්දුව කළා. එහෙමනම් මේ පුජ්‍යලිකායට අපි වන්දි ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින්
Governor of the Northern Province Suren Raghavan, parliamentarians, heads of security divisions and the state officials have also attended the talks.
President Maithripala Sirisena says that speedy measures will be taken to commence direct flights and to establish diplomatic offices between Sri Lanka and Cambodia. He made these remarks when he met the Minister of Cambodian Prime Minister's office and Senior Minister of Islamic Affairs Okanda Datuk Dr. Osman Hassan. The meeting has been taken place at President's office this morning. Extensive attention has also been focused to enhance relationship in the fields of education, tourism, industries and other sectors as agreed upon the President's Cambodian visit. President Maithripala Sirisena also said on this occasion that he wants to extend his gratitude to the Cambodian Prime Minister for the excellent hospitality provided to him during his tour. The Cambodian minister has pointed out that the opportunities have been created for the entrepreneurs to invest in the industries and to market produce in the Asian and the Indian market through the bilateral trade agreement. Cambodian Prime Minister Parliamentarian Rovi Osman and Presidential Secretariat Uday R. Senaviratne has also attended the talks. The Cambodian minister has also visited the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation today. He also welcomed by the corporation chairperson Inoka Satyangani Kirtinanda and Director General Saranga Vijayaratne. Thereafter, the minister had participated in special interview.
Like the foreign investor come to make the business in Cambodia, the foreigner can open the company with his own 100%. No need to join with the local partner. So you can open the company, your own company is 100%, and you can get some like the tax, free tax to import raw material, or free tax is for 5 years or 6 years. It belong to your investment. Colombo Chamber of Commerce already visit in Cambodia with follow your president, Sri Lanka president, to visit Cambodia. They're very happy to look at the law, investment law in Cambodia. So I hope that in the future the businessmen from Colombo will join hand in Cambodia, and also the developer in Cambodia, the businessmen in Cambodia have to come to Sri Lanka to join hand, to work together to make the business together.
Meanwhile, new Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavindra Silva has called on Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Temple Trees today. The Prime Minister has extended best wishes to the Army Commander on this occasion. The Army Commander has presented a souvenir to the Prime Minister.
Minister Sachit Premadasa says that those who are unable to withstand the development programs implemented by him are accusing him. He adds that, however, nobody is able to prevent this program of developing all religious places. The minister made these remarks on the occasion of vesting with the Sasana, the newly constructed Chaitya at the Sri Pushparama Viharasthana in Lunugambahira at Hambantota. The Chaitya has been constructed under the Sasunata Aruna Vavata Dagabai Gamai Pansalai program. It was constructed at a cost of 2.5 million rupees provided through the assistance of philanthropists. Mahanayaka of Sri Lanka Amarapura Mahanikaya, Most Venerable Kotaguda Dhammavasa Thera, had delivered an Anusasana on this occasion. Minister Sachit Premadasa has thereafter expressed his opinion. Minister Sachit Premadasa said that some are accusing him that he is spending more money than needed on Viharaya. He had utilized the funds of the cultural funds for the construction of 1,000 Dhamma school halls. He has questioned whether we should restrict the safeguard of Sinhala Buddhist heritage to mere words or act like practical Buddhists who are committed to the progress of Buddha Sasana. He also said that today the Buddhism and Sinhala culture have fallen to the level of political football. The minister added that the Buddhism and politics should not be mixed. Mrs. Hema Premadasa and others have also graced this occasion.
Now, a meeting of the United National Party members and leaders of the main government parties was conducted at the Temple Trees yesterday. It has also been reported that the meeting, which commenced at 5 p.m, has lasted till 7 p.m. Speaking to the media followed the meeting, the leaders of the UNP said that they have agreed to form the new alliance and present the new policy framework in the near future. They have also noted that they discussed on how they could work together for the elections and noted that discussions on naming the candidate will also take place in the future.
අපිට ඕන වෙලාවට අපි ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න ඊට පස්සේ don't worry.
කාරණා පිළිබඳව සාකච්ඡා කරා.
දැන් කොහොමද අපේක්ෂකයා නම් කිරීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් එහෙම කටයුතු අද
ඒව පිළිබඳව සාකච්ඡා වේ ඉදිරි දින කිහිපය තුළ.
සන්දානයේ නායකවරු ඔබතුමාට ලැබුවද මොනවද එකතාවයකට ආවේ නැද්ද අද?
රටම කැමතියි මට. ඉගෙන කිසි ගැටලුවක් නැහැ.
නමුත් එක්සත් ජාතික පෙරමුණෙන් අදහසක් නැහැ. ඔබතුමාලගේ පක්ෂෙත් කිසිම තාම අදහසක් දුන්නේ නැහැ නේ ඔබතුමාලා.
නෑ ඒ කරුණු කාරණා ඉදිරියේදී විසඳෙනවා. දේශපාලනේ හැම දෙයක්ම දරාගෙන ඉදිරියට යන්න හැමෝටම හැකියාව තියෙනවා. කිසිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් සිදු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. සියලු දෙනාම සාමකාමී වෙලා එකට එක්ගහ වෙලා අපි මේ මැති වෙන ජයග්‍රහණය කරනවා.
Now, President Maithripala Sirisena has presided over the inauguration ceremony of the International Ceremony on Fashion and Culture and the New Silk Route of the Sea at the BMICH in Colombo this morning. The event has been organized in connection with the 1620th anniversary of the Dhamma exploration mission of Fashion Thera. Chinese national Bhikkhu Fashion had been a great explorer as well as a respected Buddha Dhamma propagator. He was born in Pingyan province in ancient China in 337 AD. The name Fashion means sparkling of Dhamma and the spread of Dhamma. The Thera had made a great effort to turn China into a powerful Buddhist country. He had visited India and thereafter Sri Lanka and spent 12 years in Sri Lanka. The Thera had recorded in his books that there were 5,000 bhikkhus at the Anuradhapura Mahavihara. Fashian Bhikkhu had travelled in 35 kingdoms in Central Asia. Today's conference is organized by the Lun Hua Institute, the Ministry of Buddha Sasana and the Ministry of Cultural Affairs. Representatives of Buddhist organizations and municipal councils in the province where Fashion Thera was gone, as well as officials of the Fashion Research Institute, were also present at the ceremony. The Sri Lanka Postal Department has issued a commemoration stamp in this connection. Souvenirs have been exchanged between the two countries. The Mahasangha, headed by the Mahanayaka Thera of the Askariya chapter, Most Venerable Varakagodayan Ratana Thera, Mahanayaka of the Sri Lanka Amarapura Mahanikaya, Most Venerable Kotugara Dhammavasa Thera, Speaker Kaujaya Surya, Ministers Gamini Javikram Pereira, Sajid Premadasa and Abdul Halim, Chinese Ambassador in Sri Lanka, Chung Zhuan, and the President of the Lun Hua Institute, Professor Hao Weimin, have also graced the occasion.
The friendship between China and Sri Lanka can be dated back to 2,000 years ago. Venerable Fashion Thera is the pioneer of China-Sri Lanka relations. In 410 AD, he came to Sri Lanka through fire and water. Ever since then, our two countries have enjoyed very good Buddhist relations. Each year, there are a great number of Buddhist exchanges between our two countries, which further promote the Buddhist exchanges and cooperation between China and Sri Lanka. Both China and Sri Lanka attach great importance to the Buddhist development. The Buddhist communities of our two countries will continue to learn from each other and gently to promote the Buddhist development in the future. Today, it is time for us to jointly build 24th Central Mali Silk Road to bring really benefits to our two peoples and realize the common development of our two countries. We will continue to work with Sri Lankan friends from all walks of life to promote people-to-people exchanges, deepen pragmatic cooperation between our two countries, and consolidate the time-tested traditional friendship between our two peoples.
The Chief Justice has appointed a 3-panel of judges to examine the case Ratupaswala incident, disappearance of media person Pradeep Eknaligoda and the Avant-Garde incident. The case on Eknaligoda and Avant-Garde will be heard at the Colombo High Court and the Ratupaswala incident at the Gampaha High Court. The Colombo High Court has ordered to recommence the hearing on the case against parliamentarian Vimal Veeravansa, filed on charges of inappropriate accumulation of assets nearly 75 million rupees on the 2nd of October. The order had been delivered when the case was heard before High Court Judge Pradeep Hettiarachchi today. Vimal Veeravansa had been accused of earning nearly 75 million rupees, exceeding his legal income during the period he functioned as the minister from 2010 to 2014. The case has been filed by the Commission investigating charges on bribery or corruption. The Supreme Court has examined the case filed against State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake on charges of contempt of court. It was heard before a 3-member panel of judges. The recording of the evidence of the complaint filed by the Attorney General was completed. Further hearings have been put off till the 10th of September.
Now, leader of the Dawood Bohra community and the 53rd Al-Dai Al-Mutlaq spiritual leader, Dr. Sayyidina Mufaddal Saifuddin, has arrived in Sri Lanka today. He is scheduled to participate in the Ashara Mubarakah sermon to be held in Sri Lanka from the 31st of August to the 9th of September. Leader of the Dawood Bohra community is scheduled to conduct a series of lectures under the themes of justice, contribution, brotherhood, forgiveness, compassion and faith. Cabinet ministers and officials and members of the Bohra community were at the Bandaranayake International Airport to welcome the spiritual leader Dr. Sayyidina Mufaddal Saifuddin. Thereafter, the visiting dignitary has arrived at the Rupavahini Park in Bambalapitiya, where he was warmly received by the Dawood Bohra community. Dr. Sayyidina Mufaddal Saifuddin said on this occasion that he wished to extend thanks to the President and the Prime Minister who has invited him to come to Sri Lanka. He has also conducted a prayer session for peace, unity and prosperity of Sri Lanka. The visiting religious leader is also expected to meet senior government officials and leaders of religious communities during his tour. He will discuss on ways to enhance progress in the country. Dawood Bohra community members exceeding 21,000 from more than 40 countries are scheduled to attend the Ashara Mubarakah sermon. Meanwhile, vehicle traffic in the Colombo city was obstructed due to a protest organized by the Inter-University Student Federation. The protesters have walked to Fort railway station from the Technical Junction in Colombo. Thereafter, they have attempted to arrive in the President's office by travelling along Lotus Road. The police have launched tear gas and water cannons on them.
The Indian Supreme Court today referred a batch of petitions challenging the abrogation of Article 370 and bifurcation of the state of Jammu and Kashmir into 2 union territories. A judge bench headed by Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi, said a 5-judge bench will hear matters on Article 370 in the first week of October. The constitutional validity of the Indian government's move to scrap special status of Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370 earlier this month expected to be revived by the Supreme Court in October, the top court said today. The Indian Supreme Court has also sought a response from the centre as it heard a batch of petitions against the Indian government decision. The Supreme Court has referred all the petitions to a 5-judge constitutional bench. India revoked the special status given to Jammu and Kashmir this month and also divided the state into 2. More than a dozen petitions have been filed in the Supreme Court questioning the legality of the government move. A panel of judges headed by the Indian Chief Justice said the court would hear the petitions starting in the first week of October. The court also ordered the federal government to submit a response within the 7 days to a plea which had sought a relaxation of the government ban on the telephone and internet services in the region since August 5th. Now let's move on. Now let's have a look around Asia in a minute. Welcome back. We continue with more local stories. The Cabinet has granted approval to table in Parliament the report of the Presidential Investigation Committee appointed to look into alleged irregularities conducted by Sri Lankan Airlines Company, Catering Company and the Mihin Lanka Private Company. The report, with 32 recommendations from numerous parties, regarding the dispensers committed by these companies from 1st of January 2016 to 31st January 2018 is scheduled to be presented to the Parliament. China has agreed to provide financial aid to construct 20,000 housing units for low-income persons under China Aid program. It has also been pointed out that relevant work sites have been identified in Moratuwa, Paliyagoda, Timbirigassaya and Maharagama. Sri Lanka and Maldives have agreed to sign an agreement to facilitate the procedure of obtaining visas. The Cabinet have granted permission to take relevant measures in this regard. The government of Japan have agreed to provide the grant of 1 billion yen to control terrorist activities and strengthen public security. Under this program, relevant equipment will be provided to Sri Lankan Police, the Sri Lankan Airport and Aviation Company. Duties of 4 workers have been suspended regarding the train accident that took place between Maradana and Fort railway stations this morning. 2 moving trains clashed head-on at the location. A train travelling from Chilo from Colombo Fort hit a train travelling to Kalutara South from Maradana. No person was injured in the incident and train transport was not obstructed. Railway General Manager Dilantha Fernandez said that duty of engine driver who drove the train to Kalutara from Maradana and disregarding railway signals, also the assistant and the 2 guards were suspended. 11 persons were injured in an accident involving a van, 2 3-wheelers and a motorcycle in Humbawa in Galewela Moragalla Main Road. A van carrying female employees to a garment factory clashed with an ongoing 3-wheeler with 7 passengers. A motorcycle that came from behind hit the van. At this moment, the 3-wheeler was knocked by another 3-wheeler. The injured are being treated at the Galewela and Dambulla hospitals. The accident was reported to have occurred at Dangerous Bend.
Now, the Ministry of Education has decided to take stern action against school canteens which do not conform to standards. The program will be implemented with the commencement of the 3rd school term. Studies conducted on the physical and mental development of school children have revealed that they are confronted with many nutrition problems. It has also been found out that a major reason in this connection is the children getting used to unhealthy food habits. The students are also faced with problems of obesity, thinness and stunted growth. The special circular regarding health precautions in cafeterias prepared on the instructions of Minister Akila Viraj Karyawasam have already been released to all heads of school.
Rupavahini Ekata Sintimu national program is being successfully implemented in Jaffna district. There have been many benefits to the residents through the program. Several more programs of the Rupavahini Ekata Sintimu project was conducted in the Delft Island, which is another divisional secretariat division in Jaffna district. The programs were implemented through the mediation of officials of the Presidential Secretariat. They were intended on helping disabled and elderly community in the island. Another program is to strengthen disabled and elderly community in Jaffna district was also conducted with the assistance of Presidential Secretariat. Handing over of several life-saving equipment and other goods by the Disaster Management Center also took place at the Delft Divisional Secretariat Division Office. The locations where safe drinking water system to be set up were also inspected. A house was handed over to a family living in a slum house for more than 50 years also took place at the government expense. The Presidential Task Force for Prevention of Kidney Disease has provided water filtering equipment to the people in the Delft Divisional Secretariat Division.
දෛනික පානීය ජල පරිභෝජනයේදී පිරිසිදු ජලය ලබා ගැනීමට ජනතාවට එමගින් හැකිවනවා. කාර්ය සාධන බලකායේ නිලධාරීන් ඇතුළු පිරිසක් එක්ව සිටියා. වර්ග කිලෝමීටර් 44.7ක භූමි ප්‍රදේශයකට හිමිකම් කියන ඩෙල්ෆ් යුවතේ
The Ministry of Education says a sum of 1,150 million rupees have already been provided as benefits under the Suraksha insurance program. The number of beneficiary students has exceeded 23,800. The program is being implemented free of charge for students of all national, provincial, private, international schools as well as for Samanera bhikkhus of Pirivenas. The government bears the expenditure incurred in the treatment of decades, emergency accidents and other calamities faced by the students as well as in the instances of students losing their parents. The relief provided under Suraksha insurance program has been increased on instructions of Minister Akila Viraj Karyavasam. Accordingly, the amount being paid when receiving residential treatment from a government hospital in a day has been increased to 3,000 rupees from 1,000 rupees. Spectacles and audio-visual equipment could also be received as outpatient treatment. The insurance scheme also enables to procure special medical treatment and hospitalization treatment free of charge. When the charge exceeds 2,000 rupees, the beneficiaries will have to pay only excess amount. Medicine could be obtained under the coverage of serious diseases 7 days prior and 14 days after hospitalization. The insurance so far provides only in case of demise of parents, and deaths caused due to accidents has now been extended in case of natural deaths as well.
We now focus on several development news in brief. The foundation stone was laid for the construction of a 3-storied hostel building at the National Education Institute in Maharagama by the Minister of Education Akila Viraj Karyavasam. 100 million rupees out of the funds annually earned by the National Education Institute will be utilized for this purpose. 7 rural roads in the Kurunegala electorate reconstructed under the Gamperlia program were vested with the general public today. The total cost of the project amounted to 11 million rupees. More than 2,000 families are benefited by the program. State Minister Ashoka Besinghe has presided over the event. The road from Magal Khandabe Ruwala to Rockland Estate was developed with carpeting under the Ran Mawat development program at a cost of 18.4 million rupees. Minister Dr. Rajda Ratna and Chief Organizer of UMP in the Beruwala electorate, Iftika Jamil, were among those present. The old Goa Road in Kalutara North was also developed with carpeting through funds of the Ran Mawat Road Development Program. A distance of 2 kilometers was reconstructed. UMP parliamentarian Lakshman Vijay Manna was also present at the opening ceremony. 3 new bridges in the Deraniagala electorate were vested with the general public under the 1,000 Bridges program. Cost of construction amounted to 105 million rupees. Provincial Governor Dhamma Disanayaka and Kagol District Parliamentarian Dushmanta Mitrapala were also present.
On to your stock update. The all-share price index closed at 5,910.92 points, increased by 1.99 points, and the S&P SL20 index closed at 2,928.70 points, also increased by 7.11 points at the end of trading in Colombo Stock Exchange today. Turnover was over 657 million rupees. Here is a summary of the market details of the Colombo Stock Exchange today.